not so good. Saoirse Ronan, who was up for Best Actress for Little Women, loved her in that movie so much. Did not like her dress at all. But I have to say, when I have to use the word awful, it's just not good. I mean, absolutely horrific was Kristen Wiig. What the hell was that? I don't even know what it was she was wearing. It was ridiculous. It looked horrific. That is just my opinion. But I don't know how she could have liked it. I really don't. So there is your recap of the Oscars. If you didn't get a chance to see them, then hopefully you will get to see some of the acceptance speeches. Brad Pitt won for Best Supporting Actor, and who won for Supporting Actress? Why can't I remember? Oh, Laura Dern. Okay, yes. That was for the movie The Marriage Story, which I did see, and I enjoyed that movie so much. It was really good. I almost wanted, I didn't almost want, I wanted Adam Driver to win Best Actor. We all knew that he wouldn't. I wonder how it feels for these, actors and actresses that get nominated for these awards. And, everybody leading up to it was saying that Renee Zellweger was going to win and Joaquin Phoenix was going to win. Like, do you go and just know you're not going to win and just are happy that you're nominated? I don't know. But I was very happy for Laura Dern. She did an amazing job in The Marriage Story. And if you have not seen it, it is on Netflix. So if you have Netflix, you don't have to do nothing else except bring up your streaming service. I highly recommend it. Scarlett Johansson also nominated for Best Actress for that movie. Of course, she didn't win because we know that Renee Zellweger did. And like I said, I don't even know. I mean, I'm sure there's a little hope deep down inside everybody, but, it always seems to be the ones that are the most talked about that do end up winning. And, there's all these award shows leading up to the Oscars, and that's usually a tip-off as well. So for the topic today, I wanted to have a little bit of fun. I found somebody who came, who had posted something on Facebook, my friend Jean, and it has all of these different names that you can come up with, like your rapper name, your Star Trek name, your goth name. So I thought let's do one of those, and I picked your rapper name, which is Lil plus whatever you last ate. So just the word Lil, like little, Lil, and whatever you last ate. So mine at the time was Lil Banana with Peanut Butter. Not a great rap name, I gotta say. Now, Kathy said Lil Stocks, and I went, does she mean Stocks Pound Cake? Because, first of all, jealous, but I think that Lil Pound Cake would be a really cool rapper name, don't you? Lil Pound Cake. That's right, Lil Pound Cake. Going to be doing a world tour. Donna says Lil Cookie. Lisa says Lil Cupcake. I know Mary had the same. Jim said Lil Fried Rice. Charles says Lil Wings. Marianne says Lil Zuppa. Zuppa? Sounds Italian. I'm not sure what it is. James says Lil Patty Melt. Corinne says Lil Spaghetti Squash. Kevin says Lil Ribeye. I hope it wasn't too little. Karen says Lil Herb Olive Oil. Carolyn says Lil Mussels. Kate says Lil Pork. Denise says the same, oddly. Kate says Lil Eggplant. Uh-oh. And then she put the emoji, which doesn't always represent eggplant. Eve says Lil Eggs and Scrapple. Marcy says Lil Impossible Burger. Marianne says Lil Fish and Chips. And then Andrew says it's either Lil Pizza or Lil Pringles. Oh, I like Lil Pringles. That's good. Lil Pringles. Laurie says Lil Gummy Bear. John says a Little Flan. Lil Flan. Larissa says Lil Pizza. Diane says Lil Yogurt. Rosemary says Lil Triscuit. Lil Pretzel. Lil Guacamole. Little Cheese Doodles. I like that one. Lil Chip. Lil Cereal. Lil Espresso. Little Corned Beef Hash. Lil Stir Fry. Lil Cashews. Little Split Pea Soup. Lil Almond. Little Meatball, like that. I don't know if that's a great rap name, but that's a great name. And Lisa says Little Shrimp Taco. So that was some fun, right? It's always interesting to see what your supposed makeup name would be for these little fun things. So I'll get to some of the other ones in the coming weeks and months when I feel the need to just do something super fun. So today's blog post is about random acts of kindness, and a lot of it really does have to do with my day of getting to Brooklyn on Saturday to see the Queen, the one, the only, the Oprah Winfrey. So as I've mentioned this past week, big one for me. It was the time I had been waiting for all of January and even before that. It was my 50th birthday, and I got to see Oprah and my Rachel Hollis on Saturday, and you all know how I feel about my queen. Now, the whole week was for the record books. Now, it goes down as one of the best weeks of my life. From my dear friend coming to spend a few days with me for my birthday, to the friends that gathered to help me celebrate, to the special gifts I received. It was all so humbling. I have some great people in my life, and I will never, ever take that for granted. So when trying to decide how to get to the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, I had initially decided to drive because all the trains seemed to take so long to get there. And then my neighbor, who is familiar with the city, told me, oh, no, you do not want to drive to Brooklyn. Do not drive into Brooklyn. Don't do it. So he suggested I drive to this train station up north, Metro Park, and take that into Penn Station, then hop on the subway to go into Brooklyn. He even mapped out the path for me, told me what train I needed to take. So that was the plan. Got a little off track with the GPS at first. We didn't hit the train station right away, but we made it just in time, like 5 minutes to go for the train. I saw a man walking toward the platform from the parking lot, and I was like, hi, we're train newbies. We need to get a ticket to Penn Station. And he's like, oh, you got to go to the vending machines over there, and then just go right up the stairs, just hop on, the train that's going to be there. So we get to Penn Station, and that is where the real fun begins. There doesn't seem to be much help when it comes to asking questions about where you want to go. You go down into the subway, and there is no one that works there to get help from. So I just ask random people. Most of them don't know. Some of them act like they do. You just have to decipher if you think they know what they're talking about. Now, a woman told us we were on the wrong platform to get to Brooklyn, told us how to get to the other side. Once we boarded the train that she told us to go on, I asked someone there if we were on the right train for Brooklyn. She said, oh, no, you're not. You are on the uptown train, and you need to be going downtown. I was like, are you kidding me? She's like, everyone's done it. Everyone has done it. It's the same train. It's just that you have to decipher between the uptown train and the downtown train. She told me how to get off at the next stop and get on the right train. We got on the right train. Then I started asking someone again to verify that we were on the right train. They said we weren't. I didn't find them to be very credible, though. They didn't seem really sure about what they were telling us, so I stayed put and waited. And alas, we were on the right train. Whew. And made it to the Barclays Center and on time. So my cousin, Jim, had shirts made for us that deemed him Oprah's #1 fan. I was her #2 fan. But the shirts had the classic Oprah font that she used for her show, and they did turn out really nice. His friend Jess made them. Now, one of the workers selling Oprah gear commented as I walked by. She's like, hey, I like your shirt. I was like, oh, thank you. I said, the #2 fan is here as well. I said, oh, no, I'm sorry. The #1 fan was here as well because I'm #2. So I tried to make friends with the woman sitting next to me, although she was very nice. She didn't seem interested in a new friend for the day, so I let her be. I had gotten up at one point to grab some sodas for myself and for my cousin. I got 2 small sodas that total $14. Now I said, my good old, geez, Louise. And the woman said, who is Louise? And I said, I don't know, but she's taking all my money. So at one point I was standing in line for the bathroom, and a young woman came out and said to me, I love your hair. It looks so good. Well, my face just lit up, and I was like, oh, my God, thank you so much. That little thing that took her 2 seconds to say totally made my day. After the show was over, I was standing outside waiting for my cousin, and quite a bit of time had passed, and one of the 2 officers who had been standing there the whole time asked, are you lost? I said, no, I'm waiting for someone who is lost, but thank you. So it was nice that, like I said, they were standing out there when I first came out, and they finally, like, you've been standing here for a while. I'm like, no. But we were able to make our way back on the subway. And then we just had to finagle getting on the right train back to New Jersey. Now, thankfully, they finally had workers available that I could go to and ask. And thank goodness, because none of the trains on the board seemed to be going where I wanted to go. And in fact, the ones that I thought would go to near where I wanted to go were a different train. So I asked the customer service rep. She said, you want to get on this one? I was like, okay. There was a horde of people jamming through this tiny little door. Hundreds of people jamming through this little door to get onto the train. I'm surprised we all fit on the train, honestly. We did have to stand for the ride home. Now, I had asked the conductor once we were on the train, how many more stops until ours? Because I just didn't want to worry about missing it. Like I said, it was so packed at this time, and it's so hard to hear the announcements. Because you got to get off those trains fast. Those doors will close right on you. But he didn't seem sure. I don't know. He's like, 4 stops, 3 stops, something like that. I'm like, oh, great. Okay, thanks. But a woman standing next to me pulled up the stops on her phone. And I guess I could have done that myself, but I didn't really know what. I guess I could have figured it out, but it didn't even occur to me to do that. So she pulled it up on her phone, and she showed me how many more stops. She's like, you've got 3 stops to go. She goes, you're going to be right after Newark Airport. I'm like, oh, okay, right after Newark. She goes, no. There's 2 Newarks. One is Newark. One is Newark Airport. You're after Newark Airport. I'm like, oh, thank you so much. She didn't have to do that, but it gave me such peace of mind knowing for sure when we needed to get off, and I was so, so grateful. So it's these small, random acts of kindness that make such a big difference in this sometimes cruel world. Now, I ran into a lot of rude people as well, but I'm choosing to focus on the good ones. What everyone did that day that stands out in my mind were such small things to them probably, but meant such a great deal to me. So I urge you to be kind, be more kind, to spread it in more ways, any way that you can. If there is something small you can do to help someone out, just do it. It could mean the world to them. If you see something you like about someone, tell them. Whether it be their hair, shoes, bag, coat, scarf, jewelry, whatever it is you admire. Say something that you really admire. Don't just make stuff up. I absolutely love when people compliment my wedding rings. Love, love, love. My husband appreciates it too. But doing random acts of kindness can bring you a lot of joy as well. Being the one to be kind. It brings me happiness to know I've said something that can brighten up someone's day. I love to see someone's eyes light up when I compliment them. It's so mood lifting for you as well. So be kind. Help out your fellow humans. Be nice to your fellow humans. It makes every day just a little bit better. So it is Monday, my favorite day of the week after Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. A brand new week full of possibilities and opportunities. Make the most of them and do something today that will bring a smile to someone's face. And I guarantee you that will help make today your best day yet.
Thank you for listening to The Hopefulist, hosted by Wendy McClure. For more inspiration, please visit Hopefulist.com. Thanks, and we'll see you tomorrow on The Hopefulist.
Ellen, 150 days of begging to be on your show. How many days will it take? Let's go. Poet didn't know it.